Good morning, students. Yesterday we had a session, first session for the chapter India Physical Environment book, that is India Location. And in last class we have seen what is a latitude, what is a longitude, and how latitudes and longitudes are drawn on the surface of the earth, and how it affects a country. Now today we are going to do about the extension of our country. Let's see, we had already discussed that the northernmost latitude, which touches the northern boundary of our country, is 37 degree 6 minute north. The southern boundary which touches it means the southernmost latitude is 8 degree 4 minute north. We are writing N because India is, as we have discussed, that India is in the northern hemisphere. Now we talk about the westernmost longitude that touches the boundary of Gujarat is 68 degree 7 minute east, and the longitude which touches the easternmost is 97 degree 25 minute east. So from the picture, from the map, you can make out that India's latitudinal extent, these are flat lines are known as latitude, starts from 37 degrees 6 minute north. It is believed the northernmost point of India is Indira Pole, which is very close to Siachen Glacier, and our southernmost boundary here is Cape Comorin, which is 8 degree 4 minute north. But we know that we have two union territories. One is in Bay of Bengal, that is Andaman Nicobar. So the northernmost point is here, which is 6 degree 45 minute north. It is known as Indira Point. The westernmost part, here we have run of Kutch, and here in the easternmost we find that is Arunachal Pradesh. So this is the latitudinal and longitudinal extent of our country. Now one very important latitude we have discussed earlier also, which divides the country into two equal halves, is your Tropic of Cancer, and the value is 23.5 degree north. The states through which this line passes through, you can see, is Gujarat, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, West Bengal, Tripura, and Mizoram. So these are the states through which this latitude passes. Now you can see that Tropic of Cancer divides the country into equal halves. The half which is in the southern part of Tropic of Cancer has tropical climate. As we know that the zone which lies between 23.5 degree north to 23.5 degree south has torrid zone. The reason I have told you that somewhere here we have 0 degree, that is equator. So this is the zone which comes under torrid zone. Now this part which comes under the temperate zone, we say that India has a tropical, subtropical climate because of the presence of Himalayas. It gives a unity to the Indian climate. So the country has a subtropical climate, though the country has been divided by Tropic of Cancer in two zones, that is temperate zone and tropical zone. But because of the presence of Himalaya, we find more or less the country has a similar kind of temperature condition or climatic condition, that is subtropical climate. Now if we talk about our country's borders, we will see that India shares land borders in the west with Pakistan, in the north with China, Bhutan, Nepal, Bangladesh, Myanmar, and in the vicinity of this there are three water bodies. As you know that the southern part of India is protruding in Indian Ocean, so we find it's a peninsula, and there are two seas here. One is Arabian Sea. The Union Territory which we see in Arabian Sea is Lakshadweep, which is a coral island. Here we have Bay of Bengal, and in Bay of Bengal we have group of islands, that is Andaman and Nicobar, which you know has one active volcano, that is Barren Islands. This part is Indian Ocean. In Indian Ocean we can see there is one country which is very close to our country, that is Sri Lanka. India and Sri Lanka are separated. There is a narrow water, there is a channel of water body, narrow lane of water body which separates two countries, is known as Park Strait. Strait is a geographical feature. It refers to the water body which separates two land masses. So you can see that India shares the largest land border with one country, that is China. Now let's talk about our territorial waters. We all know that India has a coastline of 6,100 kilometers with its mainland. When we talk about the mainland, it means we are starting from here in Gujarat, that is Run of Kutch, Gulf of Kambad, continuously your western coast, then continuously your eastern coast, that is 6,100 kilometers. But we also know that we have two union territories, so they also have their coastal boundaries. So India has a long coast of 7,517 kilometers. So India enjoys a very long coastal boundary, and because of this we have a very good maritime location. If we talk about our territorial waters, from the baseline, that is the coastal area, to 12 nautical miles, this is your boundary for territorial waters. And we also study about EEZ. What is EEZ? EEZ refers to economic zone, that is exclusive economic zone. The word economic means it is till 200 nautical miles. 1 nautical mile equals to 1.8 kilometers. So India has EEZ, that is 200 nautical miles from the baseline. Now what does EEZ means? Exclusive economic zone means that the state has jurisdiction or control over all the resources which will be available within this zone, that is the 200 nautical miles. So what are the resources? It can be oil exploration, natural gas, fishing, or minerals. So in this way, you know about the entire country's boundaries, you know about the territorial waters, you know what is the exclusive economic zone, you know the extension of our country, how the latitudinal extents, which starts from 6 degree 45 minute north in Indira Point and 8 degree 4 minute from Cape Comorin to 37 degree 6 minute, and how it affects the climate of our country. It divides the country into two divisions, that is, one is having tropical climate, one comes under temperate climate. Now let's talk about the extension which is here. Starting from west to east, you can see it is 68 degree 7 minute east to 97 degree 25 minute east. There is nearly a difference of 29 degrees of longitude. 1 degree of longitude is covered in 4 minutes. So nearly we have a difference of 2 hours in between Gujarat and Arunachal Pradesh. It means if sun rises here, it will be 2 hours early than Gujarat. Now, because of this time difference, there will be a lot of confusion regarding the schedule of flights, regarding the schedule of railways, the news channels, and even we know that the GPS system which we are using, the global positioning system, where we give the latitudinal extent as well as we give the time. So it will create a lot of confusion in our country, which all the people are not so literate. So we cannot have two time zones even if we have 2 hours of difference. So what India has decided, India has taken one longitude which divides the country into equal halves. From 97 to 68, it divides the country, and we have chosen 82 degree 30 minute east as our Indian Standard Time. The time which will be calculated on the basis of this is known as Indian Standard Time, and this longitude, that is 82 degree 30 minute, which crosses from Mirzapur in Allahabad, is known as Indian Standard Meridian. So I hope this entire thing is clear to you. What you have to study in the chapter, the topics which you have done today, I'll just repeat it once again. We have done what is the latitudinal extent of India from north to south. Here we can see the northernmost boundary that we take Indira Col, which is near Siachen Glacier, starts from 68 degrees 7 minute east, and the southernmost boundary which touches our Cape Comorin is your 8 degree 4 minute north. But because we have Union Territory also in Andaman and Nicobar, the Andaman and Nicobar, so the southernmost boundary is 6 degree 45 minute north also. So in most of the books, but you will find this. So this latitudinal extent, how it affects the climate of our country. Next thing, we come to the longitudinal extent. The longitudinal extent starts from 68 degree 7 minute east from Gujarat to 97 degree 25 minute east, that is Arunachal Pradesh. We see how longitude affects our country. It gives our country a difference of 2 hours. But we cannot have two time zones even if we have a difference of 2 hours, because it will create a lot of confusion. To avoid this, we have chosen one longitude which is dividing the country into two equal halves. that is 82 degree 30-minute east. An interesting point I would like to tell you that even today, the tea garden laborers who are working here in Assam and Arunachal Pradesh, because of early sunrise, they are allowed to use a different time for their working period to save daylight energy, which is under Labour Act. But in our country as a whole, we are not following it. So this is the implication of having a vast longitudinal extent. Then we have talked about the country which shares boundary with our country, that is Pakistan, China, Bhutan, Nepal, Bangladesh, Myanmar, and in the south we are very close to Sri Lanka and Maldives here. So this is the countries which we are sharing, and the longest boundary is with China. Then we talk about our peninsular situation, that the southern part of our country is protruding in Indian Ocean. That is, we are surrounded by Arabian Sea in the west, Bay of Bengal in the east, and Indian Ocean in the south. If we talk about our territorial waters boundary, it extends to 12 nautical miles. That is, 1 nautical mile is equals to 1.8 kilometers. So it is 21.2 kilometers, somewhat like this. But if we talk about our exclusive economic zone, where India goes for oil exploration, natural gas exploration, or getting minerals or fishing, it is still 200 nautical miles, and it is same for all the countries. So this is all we have done in this class. Thank you. We'll meet again tomorrow with the same chapter. Thank you.